often people don't really understand what justifies the price of a handmade item compared to a store-bought one. And so that's precisely why I'm making this video. I'm planning on taking this wallet you can buy for around $60, and I'm going to take it apart, remake it entirely by hand, and I'm going to attempt to improve the overall quality of the item on simple craftsmanship. So looking at what we have here, this is a biker style wallet with a D-ring that you can use to attach it with a chain to your belt. It's made with 2mm thick leather. Inside we find 5 card slots and a zipper pocket to put some coin. The thread is a polyester, where it actually is melted into place here. The edges are left raw, so not painted, no coating or anything. They're pretty rough at the touch. And the interior of the zipper pocket is lined with a denim-like material. The snaps are holding it close together. And then what's next is to cut it open and actually remake the pattern. So after making such a mess, time to clean up a bit, and I'm moving on to creating the pattern. I'm using Illustrator here. I'm just gonna import a scan of the leather pieces I cut up, and I'm gonna recreate it. With the pattern ready, it's now time to glue it onto some cardboard. And then to actually trim the pattern so that we can transfer that to the leather. For this wallet, I'm going to be using vegetable tan leather. It's the same thickness, more or less, than the one used in the original wallet. And this one takes scratches super easily, and it comes in really handy when it comes to marking down and tracing on the leather the actual pieces of the pattern. For the zipper pocket, I want to avoid getting some rough corners, so I'm punching it with a round hole and then I'm just scoring in between to cut it out. So now lining up the pattern to make sure I can see where the holes have to be punched. And once that's done, adding the lines to cut it along and creasing the edges of the wallet and the pockets. If you're not familiar with what creasing means, it's like adding a little crease with usually a hot tool, and that has a decorative element to it, but it used to be also for practical reasons, so it would prevent the edges of the leather from fraying. Next up, you have to paint it to make sure that it actually remains together and smooth it out with some heat. So this build was commissioned by the owner of the brand who initially manufactures these wallets, and that's why I'm keeping their name on it. So remember these tiny pockets? Well, I'm gonna recycle them, just taking off the glue and putting them back in the new wallet. Next step is the zipper. Here I'm using some YKK zipper with metal teeth. I'm also adding in some top and bottom stops to try to finish the zipper a bit more. I started leathercraft like maybe 4 years ago now, and obviously I've learned a whole lot since I started, but I also still have a lot to figure out and to learn. My goal with this channel is to be able to turn leather crafting on YouTube into my full-time job. If you enjoy the video and if you would like to see me make more of this kind of content, I'm going to be making more, and hopefully the quality of the video is going to improve. I'm going to improve, and if you'd like to follow along, you can subscribe to the channel, and that would really help me out, and yeah, that will get me one step closer to the goal of making this into my full-time job. I'm trying to clean off the end of the zipper by melting the thread. Now checking that everything fits perfectly, and now gonna add the lining to the interior pocket. a tiny bit of skiving to ensure that everything fits together nicely. Marking where we have to stitch and cutting 4 or 5 times the length of the thread, and then stitching everything by hand. From this point forward, the wallet is pretty much ready to be assembled. Next step is to just finish punching the holes, and then I can glue it together and start stitching. Now, there are still a few things I'm not really happy about with the way the wallet came out. The first thing being the zipper bottom stop that I managed to hammer down in an incorrect place, and now it's forever not in the right place. Another one is the snaps that go right here. These were meant to be installed in something much thicker. They shifted when I hammered it down, and I think it's one of these things that I'm the only one who's really gonna notice it, but not super happy with it. But a third thing that I hope I could have improved with the build is the overall thickness of the edge. Like, it doesn't look as good as I would have hoped it would. So I think a way to maybe have improved it would have been to thin along the middle layer of leather. So that would have been this exterior pocket, and thinning it along the edge on the surface of the patch. I'm not sure it would have been the ideal solution, but I think it might have helped in reducing the overall bulk of the leather, and maybe I will try it for another version if I ever remake one of those. So if you're still here, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments which version do you prefer. Is it the store-bought wallet or the one I just made? Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.